everyone. Rebecca here. Yeah, so it's been kind of a tough day after the streams. I had to end my stream earlier because just some upsetting stuff, you know, some really upsetting stuff with a family member. I never was particularly close with this family member, but it's like he is my brother, So it's like I don't know. It just sucks how stuff like racial inequality is even a debate. Like the fact that it's even a debate, and that it's so insidious in our culture that people will find any excuse to try to discredit, actual voices in our community, and try to discredit all people's lived experiences, and instead try to justify racism and try to justify like why we're overreacting and stuff like that. It's just like, I blocked this person. I blocked him on my Facebook. I already blocked my mom. I just don't want this person in my life anymore. It's one thing if this was the only time, but it's just a whole bunch of evidence piled up that this person is just completely not in my life. Okay, so it sucks, but this is kind of what I kind of wanted, just got me thinking, really. I went into my car and I started writing. And that's what I do in my car now, I guess. I have my typewriter in there, but I also have like a pad of paper and pen and stuff. Writing some random like stream of consciousness, writing some poetry, etc. Trying to get back into scene writing. I need to finish my writing some stories, like seriously. Like I want to finish some like short stories and stuff. At least, if not my novels. I have a few novels I was working on, but I should at least be able to finish like short stories. Like, come on, like seriously. I don't know why I haven't been able to finish anything in my writing. Like, it's just getting to the topic I want to be talking about is basically like who am I? I know I'm Rebecca. I know that much. That took me over 12 years to finally consolidate. Okay, so that's step one. I'm 32 years old, and it took me that long to have step one, which is my gender identity. So, I mean, it took me that long. But then there's like all this other stuff that's still there, right? Like I still don't quite know how I fit in society. I don't quite know how I fit in, as what I'm going to do for a career. I know that I'm streaming, I know that I'm doing YouTube, I know that I'm doing Twitter. But it's just like, I'm trying to figure, I'm getting back to those questions, because after I got back, after you answer these questions about gender identity, and I'm making the steps to move forward with that, then it's like, there's the novelty of that, the fact that I'm, on different hormone balance, and that, there's like a kind of a roller coaster with that, but then things kind of get normal again, where I'm just like, okay, well, now I'm alive, except now I'm Rebecca, okay, and I always was. But now, it's like, now I get back to those other questions, like, okay, well, who am I, and what am I doing with my life? And it's like, I mean, I already know very much about, like, the kind of person I am, what I stand for, trying to get rid of that, tendency to just, like, immediately just get offended by everything and get angry at everything. But at the same time, also, like, I have a lot of warmth and love and other kind of things that I contribute to who I am as a person. And at the same time, like, that's not enough to be a person either in this society. Like, how am I gonna have a career? You can't just have a career just by being a good person. And so it's like, it goes back to those questions, like, what do I do? Like, yeah, I know I'm a chess player, I know I'm streaming on Twitch, but, like, how am I going to turn that into a career? I know I'm starting to get the hang of using Twitter, actually using it, because I had a Twitter for many years. I've just, like, spam followed every single person, never actually tweet anything. And then when I do tweet anything, it's like nobody engages. I actually spent like $50 today on a post to boost that motivational video. It said it was gonna get 77,000 impressions. Only got like 14,000. Okay, and that's only like out of all those like people actually clicking on the link. You know, it's like, oh well. Either way, I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna regret it. I mean, you gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somehow. You know, getting people out to notice that you exist. It's like this whole thing. This whole thing online. It's like just trying to get people to notice you exist. You know, watching like Ashley Christ and like talking about like, you know, what Twitch really is, and like, you know, how it's really just a place for people who already know how to find you, and then you're interacting with your viewers. It's also a tool that I use a lot, which is kind of the tool I've used it from the beginning, where it's just a place to create content, and then I could like cut it later and put it on YouTube. I mean, that's what a lot of people do. I started doing that now with the whole PodChamps tournament, you know? But it's like, I don't know, I just don't know how I'm gonna move forward as a person. Like, let's say I do make success on Twitch. Let's say I do make success, right? But who? What do I do from there? You know, like who am I? What am I doing? I haven't really done anything with my life. Like, I haven't finished a novel. I haven't written any short stories. I haven't even written any poetry until today, or yesterday rather. Since it's 1 a.m. But like, I don't know, it just seems like everything's just like chaos. It just seems like everything's just like, just random. Like, it's just pure, raw, like, energy is what it seems like. I just don't know how to consolidate all that. Like, you know, how to say, like, okay, well, what am I gonna focus on? You know, what am I gonna contribute? And yeah, I just keep playing chess. Hopefully you can start teaching chess. Hopefully people start, you know, wanting lessons from me at some point to get strong enough that people actually want that. I don't know, I know that it's a very long process. Some people spend years being, like, you know, bottom of the Twitch stream, you know, bottom of the feed, you know. But, like, I don't know, it's like I'm making efforts to improve that aspect of my career, but like, what am I supposed to do about the things that I actually want to achieve in this life? Like, I want to finish one of my novels at least. And I know it's just like showing up and writing it. Sometimes it's just like, oh, it's just so much stuff going on in the world. Like, there's just so many things going on, and just like taking like all of my mental bandwidth. But then people say, yo, use that energy to write. And it's like, well, I've been trying to do that for a very long time. It's straight up just write. But it's a little bit more difficult than that. Like, I mean, I just write, but I'm just like, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? Am I ever going to actually finish the manuscript? And then after I finish it, am I ever going to be able to actually edit together, you know, hire an editor, get it edited, submit it to publishers? Like, it's just so overwhelming. And I haven't even finished the first draft. Like, I haven't even finished it. And so to have the, like, the whole prospect of not even finishing an entire story, not even a short story, it's just like, I don't know, it just makes me feel like is anything I do ever going to pan out? And these are things that I really want to do. Like, I really want to finish my stories. I really want to finish my novel. I really love the process. I really love writing, but it just feels like it's just pointless. It feels like anything I do is pointless, but I show up anyway, and that's kind of what I've been doing on Twitch. Like, I mean, this is kind of a turning point in my life. You know, chess has always been there at turning points in my life, where I rediscover who I really am, and where I just make some giant movements in my life. And I guess you could say I made some giant movements. You know, I'm on hormones now. I'm going forward towards surgeries. I'm managing my diabetes the best I can. Speaking of which, I need to check my blood sugar. At the end of the month, I'm going to be, starting wearing a consistent glucose monitor. I'm going to have access to all this data to better treat my diabetes and have my insulin regimen and stuff like that. So, I don't really know. But at the same time, it's like, I know that, like, a lot of people are struggling with this kind of stuff. So, I'm not the only one. Okay, 301. I need my insulin. High blood sugar definitely sucks, and so does low, but high blood sugar gets you a place where you're just like, you can't really, like, everything just feels like it's, like, up here, like, everything's just like, and it's pretty painful, in a way, like, because it's like, it feels like you can't really concentrate. I don't know, at the very least, I was boosting my tweet about my YouTube video, of that motivational video, which definitely making the video, that part of the stream, made me smile, at the very least. But also there's this, like, little teeny, like, hope, like, when you do something like boost a tweet or something, there's this hope that people will actually discover you. And obviously, it's never going to be, like, exactly, like, what you hope it's going to be. Like, you hope, like, a whole bunch of people are going to discover you, and then retweet you, and that people are going to love you, and, like, watch all your YouTube videos, and that they're going to come to your stream. It's just, I keep going through this. And I know that it's like, I can't give up now, because what if within the next month or two is where I'm going to make my big break? You know? And if I give up now, then it's like I gave up at the worst possible moment. Well, and obviously, obviously, giving up is not an option for me. Like, I know that people will always come in and say otherwise, but I really do not have any other option than what I'm doing right now, which is showing up to Twitch, doing my thing, and now I started trying to integrate YouTube and Twitter into it. Hopefully that'll help me grow, but it just seems so useless, because barely anybody in my, I'm still living in the same county that I was born in. And it seems like nobody I've known in my entire life has ever made it past this town, Like, this town has, the town I was born in, Santa Rosa, it's had a few, like, famous people, like Guy Fieri. Everybody knows that guy from his cooking show. And then, there was obviously, Charles Schulz lived the end of his life, the majority of his towards the end of his adult life, here, because there's the Charles Schulz Museum. He actually lived here, and he lived in Santa Rosa. It was like the only two famous people that ever lived here, really. And it's like, it seems like everybody here is just so, like, content with this reality that your life is never going to get past this. I just want, hopefully there's, what I'm imagining is that one day I will be at a place in my life where I can just pack my bags and leave. And I can say, you know what? You kept me down my entire life. All of you in here And some of you helped, you comforted me, but you still had this, that comfort was still coming from a place of, oh, you can do the best you can, but you're never going to get out of here. You're never going to be famous. You're never going to be successful. You should just get a safe job and stay here. But we love you anyway, even though you're deluded. It's pretty much what it felt like every time somebody has helped me here. But I do imagine one day I'll be able to pack my bags and say, you know what? I made it, even though you said I didn't. I wouldn't. And you did nothing but hold me back. And now I'm able to leave. And I don't hate you for what you did. But there is more to life than what you think. But I can't say that yet. Because I'm still stuck here. I'm still stuck in this county where people just go to work, go home, and then that's just the way it is. And you can't have anything that's, all these like people that are successful have, that's for them and not us. Because we're just nobody, we're just useless, we're never going to be famous, we're never going to do anything meaningful. And anybody who tries to just like ends up getting stuck here. Because they get so stuck in thinking that they're capable when they're not. It seems like a lot of people here in this county, they try to get some level of success, but it's local success. They get success here, and then they get content with that, and they get stuck. I don't want local success, okay? I want worldwide success. Or maybe that's too much to ask. But I'm not going to settle for just being, famous in Sonoma County. For being that person that's, she does a lot for the community. And yeah, that's great if you do a lot of stuff for the community, but I want to do more than just stuff for this local community. Like, I want to be able to just rise and keep growing and help as many people in as many communities as I can. That's just me. I have a vision for myself that I can actually help people, in whatever way that means. And I found Twitch, and it seemed like a perfect match, and in a lot of ways it is. Like, I've discovered a lot of who I really am, and what I stand for, and what I don't stand for. And yeah, like, as long as I'm, like, stuck at the bottom of the feed, people are going to use that as justification for why I'm delusional, or for why I'm, wasting my time, or for why I'm, like, not doing the right things. And I try to do the right things. I definitely try to do the right things. It's just, I don't know how, I don't know how I'm going to break out of this. I don't know how I'm going to break out of this one viewer rut. And it scares me. Because I started using the tools, and obviously it doesn't happen overnight. Like, just boosting one tweet is not going to change my clout overnight. It's just, I'm tired of being meaningless. I'm tired of being obscure. I'm tired of being a nobody. Okay, no matter whatever happens, like, people say, you really don't want fame, you really don't want money. It's like, dude, well, I think I deserve something else other than just absolute poverty for the rest of my life. And I'm gonna fight tooth and nail to get out of this. Okay. And yeah, people are going to just, ignore me. People are gonna, say I'm, delusional. Whatever. I don't care. But this just seems like I'm getting stuck in that loop again where I'm just trying to say, this is who I am, this is who I am, this is who I am, and I don't do anything with it. And that's what I'm scared of more than anything, is that is that I just get stuck in defining who I am instead of actually doing anything with it. And because I gotta give myself some slack, cut myself some slack, because I have struggled with my identity my whole entire life. And so it's like my whole entire life, people telling me who I am instead of letting me be who I am. And then I start being and so now I have to like basically just fight tooth and nail just to say who I am. But now that I've come to a place where I know like who I am, like as far as my gender identity goes, like, and then, well, what about the rest of the things in my life, you know? Like, what about my career? You know, am I just some person who plays chess? Obviously not. I mean, I do many things. I love chess. I love streaming chess. I love interacting with whoever comes into my channel. I love. I dream of a day where I have enough people who are with me, like who want to talk with me and who want to play games, you know, and have discussions and just talk about our day and talk about like who we are, and other people going along that journey with me. I dream of a day where there's, you know, people actually in my community, other than like a few people who are like, you know, diehard, like, we support you, we support you, we support you. I feel like I'm letting them down, because there have been people who have been coming to my stream who have been supportive, and then I feel like I'm letting them down, because it's just like a few people, and then I end up getting mad at them for some reason and banning them, and it's like, it sucks. Like, I don't want that to be my only reality. I want to actually have meaningful relationships with others, not just on Twitch. Like, I want real experience. I have a lot of life to live. Okay, I'm 32 years old, and I've never been in a romantic relationship longer than a few months. Like, I was, you know, I had my ex-girlfriend, me and her, like, lived together for, like, a few months. And we dated for a few months after that. Or like a month after that. And then she ended it, and it's for the best. I was really upset about it. It was the most serious relationship I've ever been in. But to be honest, it was mostly just physical. I mean, in retrospect, I think I was mistaking intimacy for closeness. We were very, basically we were just very good friends with benefits. But very close friends, because I did think I loved her, but it's just, it wasn't going to work out. It was never going to work out, and I think deep down I knew that. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I want to fall in love, like, for real. I want to fall in, like, real love, like, not the kind that you see in storybooks, not the kind that you see in, like, you know, and then some people get married, but that's not love. People get married all the time, doesn't mean they're in love. Some people don't get married at all, but they're in love. I know several people. And some people do get married and have kids. That's real love. Having a child. I'll never have children, so... I mean, I physically can't now, because of the hormones. And I'm going towards the surgeries, and I'm quite ready for the next step, or the first step in the bottom surgery, which is the orchiectomy. And then I definitely won't be able to have kids. Because those things will be gone. And that'll be good, because then I won't have to deal with discomfort anymore. I don't have to deal with like worrying about sitting on them, or you know, anything like that. Like, that'll be great. And I won't make testosterone anymore. That's the number one. And also, it'll be the first step in the lower surgery. So it's like, after I get the first part of the surgery, I can let that heal, and by the time we're working through all the paperwork and all that stuff, the whole process of getting low surgery takes like over a year. And so, like, at least I want to talk to my doctor about that, of course, but what I'm saying is, like, that's the first step, and then, like, it means that I won't have to have that. I'd like to have that done before I have the other two, the main ones. Because it's 3 surgeries. It's, you get an orchiectomy, which is a removal of the testicles. And then you have And then you have the vaginoplasty, which is making the vaginal canal. And then you have the labiaplasty, which forms the outer labia. And from everyone I've talked to who's had it done, um, and who's shared with other people and talked to gynecologists, etc., it's virtually indistinguishable from a cisgender woman's. The only difference is on the inside it's different because there's no opening. Like it's just a pocket, which means you do have to clean it like once a week, make sure the pH balance is level. So it's not too different. I think I would like to think about it the same way I would think about my diabetic stuff, just as like something I have to do as a routine. Just do it once a week. I have to like rinse out, because apparently cisgender women shouldn't douche, because apparently it can like cause issues. But for trans women with lower surgery, it's something that you just need to do, because otherwise you just get like stuff stuck in there, because it's like a pocket. There's no uterus or anything, so I don't know. It's hey, why? How are you? I don't know. I'm just like kind of thinking about like things I want to do in my life that obviously I am working on my chess daily. Like I am, studying chess, playing lots of games, analyzing games, and right now I'm going through this PogChamps tournament, covering the games, which is interesting because I've never actually done an event like that. Like it's obviously all unofficial. I'm not part of chess.com yet. Hint, hint. But yeah, I am doing it. I mean, it's good practice. Covering, doing commentary over others' games during an event. It's definitely something that a lot of chess players need to. I mean, not every chess player wants to do commentary. I mean, as a Twitch streamer, I really enjoy doing commentary. You can ask me anything. Just follow the chat rules and Twitch terms of service. Basically, just don't be an ass. But yeah, you can ask me anything other than that. But I don't know. It's just like I feel like I'm not really doing much. Like I want to write a novel. I've already written like 140,000 words of my novel, but I got stuck. I've attempted many different short stories, but I get stuck. I just like write like one or two scenes, and then I just stop, and then I like randomly get the motivation to do it again, and then I do a new story, and then I give up on that one. Why? I think it's just, that's what I'm trying to answer, I'm trying to figure out, like, why I just keep stopping everything that I'm working on until, like, before it actually works. Before I actually am successful with it. Like, I want to finish a full novel. Like, I actually want to finish it. Like, at least the first draft. Like, it's one thing to have a first draft and to have, like, a whole bunch of stuff that's, like, messed up. But, like, to not even have that first draft, and to have, like, been working on it for the past 6 years, it just makes me feel worthless as a human being, There's nothing to live for. There's a lot to live for. There's a lot of life that we have not experienced. That's what I hold on to. There's a lot of things that I just don't know. A lot of things that I just have yet to experience. And I have a lot of life to live. And right now it's really hard to believe that because of the whole COVID-19 and because of the just pure racism that's going on against black people, and that's been going on since the beginning of this country. And it just makes me so angry. And it's so deep that when it affects like people who are in my family, or to the point where I have to block them and not have them in my life anymore. Like seriously. Why being a trans? Well, it's not something I can control. It's a feeling that you have from a young age. And once you know what it is, then you can only decide how to move forward with it. People accept you in my life right now. Everyone in my physical life is pretty accepting, except for a few people. Like, you have a lot of questions. Well, try to be sensitive to the issue. I mean, it's just like I know that there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who have answered a lot of these questions, but at the same time, like as long as it's coming from a place of education and where you actually truly like want to understand, then that's fine. But like, there's also certain things that like you need to understand that this is a core identity. It's like it's not something that's ever been like I was like a lot of people think that it's like you're changing something. The only thing I'm changing is is the physical part of that's what transitioning is you transition your physical body. Like my brain was always female, and yeah, taking estrogen, and in trans men's case, taking testosterone, taking estrogen changes the chemistry in your brain, but for the most part, my brain has always been female. Are you on some? um, I can't promise not to ban you, but I mean, as long as you follow my chat rules, and as long as you and please don't say a trans, like you were talking to a trans person, because it's just like if you're talking to a cis person, right? Like you don't say I'm talking to a I don't know. It's just like I'm a person, okay? I'm not a trans. I'm a trans person. I'm a trans woman. Okay, I am a human being. And it's just a different experience on this planet. That it's still very misunderstood by so many people. We're starting to get to a place in our society where people are actually talking about it and understanding what it truly means. She started talking shit about me. Well, I think really what it is that you need to understand. Well, I mean, judging you just because you're from a certain country, that's kind of racist. But I mean, if you do shitty things, I'm gonna be angry. I'm not really gonna be angry. I'm just gonna ignore you. The thing is that people don't understand that I was always this way. Like, I'm not a trans, I'm a trans person. I'm a trans person, I'm not a trans. I mean, like, because you can say, like, what, you're a transatlantic bus? You're, what, a transformer? Do I change into different shapes? She wrote she wants a man to love. Well, I hope she finds it. I don't want a man to love. I mean, I'm not against it, but I mean, I don't want, I'd like to be with a woman, trans or cis. But at the same time, people aren't property. You can't just like say I want a woman or I want a man. Like, what I want is connection. Like, I want people to be in my life that I can trust, that I can talk to, regardless of whether it's platonic or romantic. Well, I don't know you. You're just a user on Twitch joining me in my channel. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're about. But if you say hateful things or do anything that's against my chat rules or Twitch terms of service, I'm just gonna ignore you. Just gonna ban you. But I'm not gonna judge you as a person. Especially, there's absolutely no way I can know you. You're just a chat. Like. Yeah, I mean, you can say that, but if you... You can say that, but if you don't... I mean, it's like saying, hey, no disrespect, but you're ugly. Like, no disrespect, but I'm gonna punch you in the face. Like, you could say all you want, but it's not about what you say, it's about what you do, right? Like, you can say you're gonna cure cancer, but if you don't cure cancer, then can you really say that? Yeah, but I don't know. I think what it mostly is people don't quite understand that, like, even though I didn't quite pinpoint what this was until I was 18 or so, this feeling was always there, and I always knew that I was different, and I always knew that I'm not male. I just thought I was, because that's what society told me, and because that's what you were expected to do, because boys will be boys, and this is what boys like, quote unquote. And it's like, well, how come I can't be a boy who likes Sailor Moon? And of course you can, except I wasn't a boy. I wanted to be Sailor Moon. Okay, it wasn't about liking Sailor Moon. I wanted to be Sailor Moon. I do relate to her a lot. Her personality, Usagi, her personality is a lot like mine. Like, she's just really caring for people, but she's also really loud, and she's also really kind of like, in a lot of ways, kind of lazy, but in a wholesome way. And she's not too intelligent, but in that sense, I'm not like her, because I've always been told by academic circles that I'm pretty intelligent. Hate that people don't accept me, but they want acceptance. Well, okay, so here's the thing about acceptance, is there's this saying that we cannot intolerate intolerance. And if you want to unpack that and know what it means, if somebody comes into a room and they want to be accepted, but what they want to be accepted for is they want to walk around and say Heil, and say like racial slurs and stuff about Hitler, and they want to praise Nazis, and they want to do all this stuff, that is allowing people a space for intolerance, to hate people for who they are. And so you cannot tolerate that. You can't tolerate somebody's belief that other people are not worth basic human respect and basic human rights. And so you cannot tolerate that. You cannot tolerate intolerance. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Thanks for the question. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, I really want to finish my novel. Like, but it's just like every time I sit down, it just feels like there's this giant like creature just like on my brain, just like sucking away all my energy and all my willpower and all my ability to just actually sit down and write. It's because when I actually do sit down to write, I'm not even like, I don't even know what to, like, I write, but like it feels meaningless to me. And I know it's not, because I know that like while you're writing, you're not going to be in the right mindset to know what you're writing. If that makes any sense. Like I know that makes absolutely no sense. What I mean is, like, when I'm writing, I'm not a reader. So later on I will read it and it'll make sense. But like while I'm writing, I'm like physically just like trying to write it, and I think what I need to do is I need to start like allowing myself to just escape to that. Just allow myself to just surrender to that process of just like, okay, well, when I'm writing, it's not going to feel like I'm writing anything. Because I know that's true. And I've written like 140,000 words that way. And it's definitely not nothing. Like, I've read it, and there's like a clear narrative. There's clear character arcs. It's just, obviously, it's very bad. It's a first draft. It's basically an outline. I'm a rewriter. Or, what do you call them? People like to say pantser. I hate that word. I like improviser, or gardener. I guess I would just say rewriter, because you write, and then that creates like an outline, but then you rewrite it because it needs to be rewritten. And I am somewhat of an outliner, but the thing is, I need to actually have something written down in full narrative form before I outline it. Like, I have to write it, then read it, and then say, okay, well, this is about this character, and like these are the things that the story's about. And I don't know, I'm not giving myself enough credit. Is really what I'm doing. It's like I'm not giving myself enough credit, because I have written a lot, and I have achieved a lot with my storytelling. It's just I need to actually finish it, right? Like, I can't just say I'm a writer and then not even finish a manuscript. Not even like, polish something down into submitting it to an editor and to an agent. Like I'd like to be able to finish a novel and submit it to agents. Like I'd like to be in that stage, you know. But at the same time, like I just can't seem to finish anything. Like I'll just keep writing and writing and writing, but I'll never actually finish it. I don't know what's holding me back with that. And it's like, yeah, then you can say, oh, well, you can just go watch, videos on how to do that. You could read blogs. And then you go through this endless cycle of watching all these experts talk about, you listen to podcasts, you watch lectures from, like, authors, and you, like, try to get all this knowledge, but then none of that seems to help. You watch, like, you watch like hundreds of hours of it, maybe even 1,000 hours of like content of people telling you, like how to write a novel, and then you never actually do it. You just get all this knowledge, but then you never actually do it. And it's mind-boggling to me that I can ingest that much information but not actually put it to use. Like, I'm very good at ingesting information. I can ingest information. I just can't turn it into anything, it seems. And I know that's not true. Like I know that, like, I have created a lot of things, okay? But I just haven't created anything that, like, people can say, hey, this is a complete book, and it's sold this amount of copies. Like, I've never actually been able to get to that part of I need to get to the actual, like, professional part. I'm still at the very, like, beginner part. It sucks. Like, I want to finish my novels. I think a lot of it is you really don't have to know who you are. That's what I was watching Ashley Christ, and she was talking about that. And, it's like, if you really want to make it as a streamer, you have to know who you are. At least I'm like, at least I'm pretty far advanced into that, as far as a personal life goal of understanding who I am and what I stand for. I'm very loud about it, but I can't seem to take that next step, whereas I apply that and actually accomplish something. And I need to give myself more credit. Okay, I have accomplished many things. I have, like, 600 streams. Like, I didn't have that before. That's something new. I've played, like, a ton of chess games. Analyzed those. That all really happened. Like, that actually happened. It's now, whether or not it's, like, this big deal or not, that's different, but, like, it still happened. It's still reality. And I don't know, I've been using Twitch as a space to just completely just understand who I am, and regardless of where I go as a career, Twitch is that's really what Twitch is for me. Twitch is a space for me to unravel who I am and to understand it in a way that I've never been able to do before, to express myself in a way that I can understand it and look at it later and, like, listen and hear myself and understand why I said what I said and try to understand, like, is that really what I'm about? Is that really who I am? And make adjustments, because that's how I work. I need constant feedback. I mean, I feel like we all do, but, like, that I definitely need it. If I don't have any feedback, I'm just gonna get stuck. I'm just gonna be in bed all day, every day, doing nothing. Just, like, watching TV shows, watching YouTube videos, reading blogs about how to be a great writer and then never actually writing. I don't know, I wrote something today. I wrote one page, and it was like poetry, but poetry's good, because what poetry does Poetry allows you to actually express, like, your innermost raw thoughts. And, like, poetry, it's a separate skill from other sorts of narratives. Some people are really good at it. And nowadays you can self-publish, so that's where self-publishing is only really good for people who already have a giant platform and don't need to go through traditional publishing, or people who are able to, like, do all the marketing, do all the, find an editor, a professional editor, not some Fiverr editor, hire a professional graphics designer, and, like I said, do all their marketing, or hire somebody to do their marketing, and to be, have honest feedback from their readers before they publish. Like, self-publishing isn't just like, hey, I can publish for free, isn't that great? And then you just type up a first draft and it has, like, actual real life typos in there, things misspelled, and, like, really bad grammar, and, like, there's words that are repeated, and like, everything's just, like, wrong, and there's giant plot holes, and it's just boring. But then you just post it online and expect people to buy it. Like, that's not how it works. Being a Twitch streamer, I know firsthand that's not really how it works. You can't just go online and expect people to want to watch you. And I understand that. It's just, I really, imagine there will be a point in my life where I will have more than just one viewer. It's something that, like, I know it seems like a dream, like, like, oh, I dream of one day having more than one viewer, and not just having people come in and troll me, like, or say homophobic things or transphobic things, or any kind of bigotry, because that's just against Twitch terms of service. But it's like, this is me, and I'm here. Anyway, hey, how are you, Henexit? I don't know, I'm just very kind of contemplative right now, just really kind of just brainstorming, like, what I'm gonna do for, the future of my career as a streamer. Like, how am I gonna move forward? I started, uploading videos to YouTube now, which I kind of was doing before, but not really. Like, now I'm doing the PogChamps coverage, so I'm doing those, and then I'm cutting them out from the highlights, and then uploading them on YouTube, at least. Sometimes I do some, like, funny stuff, like, or not funny, like, I don't know, funny. Sometimes I just have, like, interesting content that I feel like I could highlight that and put it up on YouTube. Like, I mean, like, I feel like this stream might be good for a vlog, but I don't know. I don't know if anybody would want to watch it. That's really the issue. Like, how do I make content that people want to watch? Like, that's really what I've been trying to figure out. I've been trying everything I possibly can think of to try to make a better stream. To make better content that people actually want to come by and stay and hang out and be a part of. It's extremely difficult to know how to make better content. And, I just keep trying anyway, regardless of how I feel about it. I mean, I do feel very upset about my lack of progress. Like, I spent a lot of time and effort on this stream. And, I know there's, like, certain things that you need to do, and I started doing them, I started sending out tweets. It's just, nothing seems to be very effective. And I'm trying to hang in there. I'm trying to figure out what will make me a better streamer, what will make my stream better, what will make myself, like, discoverable, and people actually want to come to my stream. I've just been trying to figure out what I need to do. it's always like hanging in and do what you want to do instead of what you think people want. Well, I don't know what people want. That's the thing. That's kind of the big thing is like, and then it's also like I've been doing like what I want to do, and like I don't know. Then I'm also like trying to force myself to continue to do things that I think people want, and what I think people want is they want. I watch other people's Twitch streams, watch people who are chess streamers, and they're engaging with their viewers. They're playing chess games. I mean, there's really not much to it. I mean, you play chess and you talk about stuff. Like that's what I do. It doesn't seem to be working. I mean, that's pretty much what the goal is on XL. It's just like I don't quite know how to get people to come here. Like I don't like I'm constantly stuck at like one viewer. And it just seems like after a year of streaming that I would have more than one person in my channel every time. Like, it seems like that something would have happened. And I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, what am I doing that's preventing me from growing? It seems like people don't want me to succeed. Seems like people just want me to stay down at the bottom. And I know that's not true. And I know that they can't really help either. It's just... I wish I knew. I wish I knew how to improve my situation. I wish I knew how to bring myself out of the bottom of Twitch. At the very bottom, like one viewer. Like there's people getting like thousands of viewers. Like thousands. I can't even imagine having like 100 viewers. I can barely imagine having 20 viewers. Like every now and then somebody raided and there was like, I think once there was like 48 viewers, but it immediately went down to like 17. I don't know, it's just like I don't know what they're doing that I'm not doing. I'm trying to find it every single day. I'm trying to find like what am I doing what are they doing that I'm not? And like I'm trying very hard. Like I'm trying to like use Twitter, trying to use YouTube. Yeah, and I was watching Ashley Christ. She was talking about how you basically need to use YouTube and Twitter. I know it's obviously, I only just now started thinking about it that way. I mean, I've technically been thinking about it for a while, but it's just, I'm trying to be, like, more involved in that process. I mean, it's only been, like, a day that I've been doing that, so, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to see immediate results, so maybe it's just keep doing it. And this whole PogChamps tournament, very great opportunity I've been trying to take. So far, nobody's like noticed me because of that, but at the same time, I feel like this is important to do. Yeah, it is really frustrating. I just wish other people would connect with me and would want to work with me so that we could create content, but it doesn't seem like anybody wants to do that with me. Seems like everyone's doing their own thing, and that's fine. Obviously, there's a lot of people who want just like everybody has this dream that some giant streamer is just gonna like want to work with them and like want to help people notice them. But that's unfair. That's unfair of me to ask them, because these people are always already trying to do their own thing successfully, and it's definitely unfair to ask for that person to also try to help you. I understand that. It's just I wish there was like something somebody like if it was even like a small thing somebody could do to try to help me grow. And it's not about just like saying me. I want you to look at me. I want you to look at me. It's like it's more than that. It's deeper than that. Like I want to work with people. I want to be involved. I want people to actually want to talk to me. Like I know that maybe that's selfish. Yeah, I got a Discord. Yeah, it's a little bit more intimate than Twitter. Like, Twitter is like this giant, like, it's just like a giant Tower of Babel. Discord is where it's like a lot more focused. Like, it's just your community. But it seems like nobody really likes to interact in there. It's people come in, they say something, and then they leave. And it's kind of upsetting. And then I, like, announce when I'm going live, and, like, nobody seems to join. And it feels like the people in my Discord, are they really my fans? Or are they just... I don't know. It makes me feel... It makes me feel terrible for even thinking that. You know, it's like people care. Okay? Like, people want me to succeed. And they've been watching my stream for a while. It's just, you know, it's like, you know, like I've been trying to figure out what I'm doing and how I can improve. Like, do you think like it'd be even harder for somebody who is not directly involved in the stream to try to help? So I can understand that. I mean, that's what I've been trying to figure out for like a year, HanXO. I've been trying to figure that out. I mean, I seem to be doing all the things that the other streamers are doing. You know, I'm playing chess. I mean, that's one thing. I'm analyzing my games. I'm playing with viewers. I do other things besides chess. I do just chatting like this. Sometimes I do, I'm a musician, so sometimes I do music streams. Except I don't really have the best audio equipment. I don't have the best microphone, so it just sounds terrible. It doesn't actually. It actually feels like it's like not even worth doing. Is what it feels like. Because it feels like it's worse to do it than it is to not do it without a microphone. Yeah, I mean, I guess if they join my Discord, they moved it, then I moved them in some way. I don't know. It's just like I'm just kind of ranting. Like I just honestly don't know what I'm doing wrong. And like why so many streamers seem to make like, you know, thousands of viewers. Well, I get like, you know, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 viewers. And if it's 4, it like stays 4 and then it goes right back down to 1. And it's just I wish I knew what I could do. I'm trying so hard. You know, I'm showing up like every day. It's just like people still don't know I exist. And I know that once they know I exist, they're gonna really want to stay. But it seems like people don't even know I exist. Because a lot of people, either they just are, you know, bigoted and they just like say hateful things and I ban them, or people find out who I am and they love me and they want to stay. Not doing anything wrong. It's really hard to blow up as a streamer. I know. It's just like Shalu. Like I really need this to happen. Like I literally have nothing else in my life. And this is it. Is trying to connect to people to try to do something. To try to do something as a streamer, not just from streaming. Like I said, I don't want to just be doing streaming. I want to be connected with other people and involved in things outside of streaming, in different projects. I want to make friends. I want to make professional friendships. I want to do collaborations. I want people to want me to do I want people to want to work with me. Except what you stream, what makes you stand out? Well, I mean, I'm very outspoken, very passionate about what I do, pretty educated about certain topics. I'm genuine. I am authentic. I definitely speak my mind. I don't pretend to be someone I'm not. And even when I'm being fake, quote unquote, it's genuine. Like when I'm acting silly, or when I'm like, pretending, like, it's not like I'm trying to trick people. I'm genuinely like being myself in the moment. I'm just like being silly at the moment. And the flip side of that, though, is that I feel these emotions really heavily. And it's part of being on the autism spectrum. It's like I just feel everything. And I'm trying to work with my therapist to make it so that doesn't like ruin like my professional relationships with people, and just my overall relationships with people, because the way I react sometimes is definitely not what people want. People don't want to be yelled at. People don't want to be screamed at. But it happens. And it's something I'm trying to go to therapy for, so I can reduce that, but it is part of, being on the autism spectrum. I mean, there's other things that make me stand out. Apparently I'm pretty attractive. I'm a trans person, so I'm a trans woman. But if that helped you stand out, that would have already helped. If anything, it makes it worse. You gotta look at your streams as a product you need to sell, so find 5 words that make your product stream stand out and is unique. Yeah, that's a bit difficult. Hey YT just cuz. How you doing? Yeah, I mean, that's one of the difficulties I have, is I have trouble selling things, because I'm a very genuine person. Like, I just say how I feel, and I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. I'm struggling a lot with the same feelings you have in your career. So that is what I've learned. I mean, it's difficult because I have a very difficult time like selling a product. I remember I tried to apply for a job to be a salesperson for like a wine company. They wanted you to cold call people to try to sell bottles of wine. And like just trying to get the job, the guy said, "Sell me a pen." And like I tried my hardest to do it, and he was like, "Okay, I wanted you to close the deal." And I'm like, "Well, I was telling you about the pen." And he's like, "Yeah, but I want you to close the deal." I'm like, "What?" It just made me frustrated. It made me want to not work. Like, and I can't work. It seems like I just can't work. That's why I'm applying for permanent disability. It just really sucks. I don't want to be permanently disabled. I want to work. Okay, but people don't want to work with me. It's definitely frustrating. Like when you want nothing else but to connect with people and to work, and then people don't want to work with you, no matter how hard you try. It's definitely frustrating. You fell for me? I hope you didn't hit your head. Ouch. No, I mean, I really appreciate it, YT. It's just, I don't know, I'm just so scared. Because, like, I'm still so, like, unknown. Like, it'd be one thing if I had, like, a following, I had, like, a foundation and a platform to stand on. It's like, I'm just, like, falling down a cliff. Is what it feels like. It feels like I'm just falling down a cliff, and no matter how hard I try to grasp for something, rocks just slip. And it feels like whenever I start to feel like I'm actually making progress, somebody just pushes me over. Like I start to get a grasp over a rock, but somebody like slams their foot on my fingers. And then I fall again. And I really don't know what to do about that. Except just continue to show up. try to make things better. I mean, it's all anybody can do, right? I don't mean pushing your product. I mean just find your unique point. Write the words and keep them as a mantra. Build your streams around those words. I promise it'll help you. I mean, I'm having trouble figuring out what that is right now. I don't know how to put it down into 5 words. Like, what 5 words would I use? Educational, entertaining, compassionate, inspirational, unique, I don't know, that's one of the difficult things I have, and I know it's really difficult for a lot of people to understand, but for me, doing something like that is extremely huge challenge. Like coming up with a mantra or something like that, it's so difficult. I usually have to use what somebody else has made. I'll say to keep trying, probably heard that a lot, but actually keep trying. Well, I mean, that's what I'm doing. I mean, that's why I'm here. And haven't given up. I mean, I don't know. I do keep trying. Making YouTube videos. Tweet it out. I do need to learn how to be more active on Twitter, like interacting with others and stuff, and just like responding to tweets and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to think about it, but I mean, I'm not sure if I'll be able to meet your expectations. What's your YouTube? Oh, it's just... Sometimes it just feels like I'm just like sometimes I like ask myself like right now, like it feels like why am I even trying? Like why don't I just give up? But the thing is at this point in my life, giving up would mean dying. And I can't do that. I want to live. You know, I'm not allowed to talk to others on this exercise. Oh, I'm 32. I mean, it's just like literally like this is all I have. This is like literally all I have. Hey, Shalu, thanks for this subscription with Twitch Prime. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I mean, obviously can't complain about a subscription. But, you know, like I said earlier, you know, it's like it'd be nice. It's really nice when people do subscribe and stuff like that. Obviously appreciated. But at the same time, like I feel like I told you, like it's not just about like, you know, me begging for money. Like I don't want to do that for a living. Like what I want to do is I want to have like a connection with people, and I want to have a sustainable career. You know, I want people to like know who I am and know what I have to offer, and to be able to work with me and to have meaningful relationships. That's what I want. And Twitch is just like, you know, a tool. Like, I don't want to be one of those streamers that just says, subscribe, you know, why aren't you subscribing? Why aren't you subscribing? Why aren't you subscribing? You know, you're just irresponsible with your money. Like that one girl. You know, like, that's not the person I am, okay? Like, just being here is super, like, amazing. The fact that you're here talking to me, and obviously the subscription is, you know, an extra boost. But like more meaningful to that is just knowing that people know I exist. That's all I've ever really wanted, is for people to notice me. Like, since I was a child. Like, I've always just wanted people to just say, hey, I matter. Like, I'm important to you. And I want that to be real. I want, I want that to be real. I want people to say, hey, I know Rebecca. She's awesome. You want to do something? You want to work on something? We can work together. Like, that's what I want. I want people to say, hey, Rebecca, do you want to do this project with me? Hey, Rebecca. Like, hey. Like, I don't want people to just look at me and say, hey, look, Rebecca's awesome. Let's throw money at her. Like, obviously, I mean, I'll take it. But, like, that's not the, I'm not in it just for myself. And I was talking to my dad earlier about how, like, when he was at work, he always tried to do the best he possibly could. And he always wanted to do what's best for the team. And how, after, he did, he would, like, buy pizza for everybody and stuff like that. And then years later, one of the women he worked with came up to him and actually apologized, saying, I thought that you were one of those people that just wanted everyone to, that just wanted to be better than everyone, that just wanted to outdo everyone, that just wanted to, like, look better than everyone. And I was wrong, because I've seen you work, I've seen you, you just want to do what's best for everyone. You just want to succeed. And my dad has that genuine need to contribute, and part of that is, I owe a lot of my attitude to that. I mean, I'm not in this just for myself. Like, I want to connect. I want people to notice me and say, hey, like, you're somebody I want to work with. You're somebody that I think that we can do great things with. I want to spend time with people. I want to sit on the couch and watch TV with people. I want to, like, sit at the table and eat food with people, like, laughing and say, hey, like, awesome stream you did yesterday. I want friends. And I know people say it's not like, Twitch isn't a place to make friends or whatever, but I really do think that's possible. That I could meet people who genuinely believe in what I do. And that one day I would meet people that I could work with, that I could actually have, like, interactions with outside of Twitch. Like actually do things in the real world. That's what I want. I want to be a human being in this society. And so this is a means to an end. That's why I do my Twitch. That's why I'm here. I'm here to try to say, hey, I'm a human being and I want to work. And I want to be a part of this world. I don't want to just be some person in a box that people watch. Like, yeah, that's great, but, like, that's not all I want. It's like that's like a small part of who I want to be. I don't want to be just some box that you watch. I mean, I'm glad to do that. Like, I want to be the best I possibly can. Like, I'm not content with that. I'm not content with just being this box that people throw money at. Like, I want human connections. Especially during this COVID-19 thing, it's just reminding me how much more necessary this is to have human connections. And right now, all that we can really do is just, have remote working, use Zoom and all that kind of stuff. And that's fine. I do love working with people on my stream, like talking to Lisa Orlova. Like, talking to Lisa, I feel a lot more alive than when I'm just talking to myself. And it's great when I have people in chat too. Like you guys are talking about stuff and I'm able to actually interact with you instead of just me talking to the camera. Cuz I mean, yeah, I can talk to the camera, but, like, does that really provide any meaning to my existence? But when I'm talking to a human being, it feels like it matters, right? Feels like, okay, well, it's not even about the money. Like, if I had to choose between, I mean, obviously money helps because then you can do other things in your life. Like, it's a means to an end. And it does pay for your bills, but it's just like, I want more. like I want to actually live. I don't want to just exist. Like I spent my whole life just trying to exist. And it's just like I'm done just existing. Like I want to live, right? Anyway, I'm getting pretty tired. I need to get some sleep. Tomorrow at I believe it's at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So it's 2 a.m. now. Let me open up the schedule for PogChamps. Um, PogChamp schedule. So today's the 8th. Or no, today's the 9th. So it's Hutch and Yasuo. Oh no, that was the last one of round 2 day 1. So we're on round 2 day 2. And it's gonna be Papa Plata versus Ludwig at 1 p.m. Then at 2 p.m. XQCOW versus Moist Critical. And there's only 2 games tomorrow. Okay, so I'll be streaming from 1 to 2:30 or possibly longer. So 1 p.m. tomorrow to 2:30 tomorrow. Actually, well, yeah, tomorrow's Tuesday. Okay. Friday, I'll have to skip one of the games live, but I will. Uh, but I will. I will at least cover the game, but it won't be live. But I do have a therapy appointment on Friday at like 12:30 to 1:30. Let me look at. I closed it already. Ugh. Um. Yeah, June 9th. Oh, June 9th is Tuesday, 10th is Wednesday, 11th is Thursday, 12th is Friday, 1 p.m. So I'm going to miss the first game, like as it's live, but as soon as I finish my appointment with my therapist, I'm going to hop on stream and I'm going to cover that first game, just look through the game. So sadly, I mean, I'll leave the stream running so you can see it happen as it's live, but I won't analyze the game till after it's done. I just met you, but I must say that you're amazing at connecting with us in chat. That in my eyes really makes you stand out. Just wanted to say that. Well, thank you, Hanexet. Um, and sometimes, like especially when people come in and they kind of give me some red flags, I feel like a little bit awkward. Or sometimes people feel like they're kind of like just trying to lead me on. I have been hurt before, but at least try to enjoy the moment. And regardless, I just try to react to the moment rather than what I'm thinking. And I feel like what it really is, and sometimes it does feel forced, but I feel like even if it's forced, it's still an effort, right? Because it's so easy for people to just not care, right? And I wouldn't blame people for not doing that because I understand, especially if you have like thousands of people spamming chat. Like I can understand that, like where you can't like individually respond to each person. But I try to respond to people, and that's why we have things like Discord and Twitter, and then I could respond to like the more like it's a little bit. I feel like then at a certain point, I feel like when you get bigger, like if you have thousands of people in your chat, then there's only going to be certain people that you respond to, right? Like there's going to be some people who have more weight, whereas like people just spamming emotes are like, okay, well, hey, thanks, your name. Like I mean, I don't know. The human mind is so capable of recognize. I mean, facial recognition. I feel like username recognition in terms of Twitch chat. Like I feel like the human mind is like evolved to a point where it's like it has such a strong capability for recognition. Now whether you can do something meaningful with that is different, but I feel like you would think that you would not be able to recognize like thousands of people, but really like I feel like your brain like is just hardwired for that. Like you just see somebody's name and like, oh, I remember that name, Henexet. Oh, I remember that name, Shalu. Or I remember that name. Like there's plenty of people that like as soon as you see them, you recognize that name. And obviously that has happened to my channel. Like people come back and I recognize, hey, I remember which stream you were in. I mean, maybe it's also because I'm a chess player, because I like I remember things. Anyway, I am going to go to sleep. Thanks for stopping by. It means a lot to me. Bye.